So all you single parents out there, whether you're a single parent by choice or through separation, whether you are divorced, whether you're a widow, whether you're an ex-partner, pregnant and alone, or currently engaged in co-parenting, this channel is for you. My name is Betty, your noble host. I welcome you all. So on this platform, we do encourage all you single parents on the need to embrace self-love, practice self-care, as we encourage self-growth, even as you embark on the task of raising your children. Although I must tell you, dear single parent, that you're not alone. God Almighty is there on your side, by your side, holding your hand, infusing you with divine strength, courage, and wisdom, even as you raise your children to maturity and to what He has called them to be. Be encouraged in this, dear single parent. Okay, let's begin. So today I want to talk to fathers, those ones of you especially who are co-parenting with your ex-partner or ex-wife, those ones of you who have children, but you're not living together in the same homestead. Okay? I want you single parents to know that much as you think that those children will be better off with their mothers, you are also required to be present in the lives of your children as frequently as possible. If possible, daily. But because we know all the cares of life will not allow you to be present because you're working, maybe you work far away, or maybe you're not even seeing eye to eye with your ex-partner. But I would want to tell you, a single parent who is a dad, you who is co-parenting with your ex, I want to tell you how important it is, how important you are in the lives of your children. It doesn't matter what happened between both of you. What matters is how you raise your children. Once you have children, there's no looking back, there's no turning back. You will not, the excuse of I cannot deal with your mother, or I cannot stand your mother, that's why I don't see you. That should not be an excuse for you, father, not to see your children, especially the male children, because you are required to raise your boys to be men. Nowadays, there's so many households that lack fathers. And when you see the children growing up in those households, they are not as the same, or they don't behave the same, or they don't have the same values as the ones growing up in a whole family setup where there's a mother and a father. So I'm urging you, you're not single, let me just say, fathers who are co-parenting, okay? Yes, you may have had issues with your ex-partners. It doesn't mean that you should not see your children. In fact, you should be more concerned of how your children are being raised. You should be on the know. You should be on the know regularly and frequently on what is happening in the lives of your children. Because you cannot throw money at a problem. It will not solve. Just because you're giving your ex-partner money to raise your children via maybe your child support, maybe you guys went to court, maybe you settled and you're giving her child support, that is not enough to raise your child. You cannot just throw money at a problem and decide, okay, I'm done with. Your children are going to resent you. They will. They are going to blame you for not being there for them. And sometimes they don't need your money. They need your presence. Not sometimes. All the time. They need your presence. They need your attention. They need your affection. They need your care. They need to know that Dad loves us. Dad cares for us. You need to be there. And even if you cannot do it on a daily because of the different living arrangements, right? But at least, dear Dad, no matter what the court says, yeah? Visit your children regularly and frequently. And if you cannot go to their house, if they are going to school, make sure you're taking them to school. Make sure you're having lunch with them, maybe once, twice in a week. Make sure you engage with them. Don't just throw money at them and presents and believe that that's it. No, they need a conversation. They need conversations. They need for you to engage them in the activities they're involved with in school or at home or wherever. Okay, that your presence in it. Don't ever think that you're not needed. I don't care what your ex-partner is telling you. She might be angry at you. She might not want to see you for whatever reason. But it doesn't excuse one from not seeing their children. And maybe the situation might be very difficult for you. Like every time you want to go to their house, you just have to swallow your pride. Like you have to swallow that pride. I mean, swallow it real hard in order for you to engage with your children. And nothing is easy in this life. Yes, you might not have seen eye to eye with your ex-partner, but your children will not understand why, Dad, you're not present in their life. They will not understand. And their mother might tell them something different because she's angry at you. She's angry with you. And she might tell them funny stories about you. You need not overly concern yourself with what she's telling you. Let me tell you. Somebody can tell you something about someone. But if you experience that person for yourself, you'll have a different mindset. And it's the same with your children. Your children, when you engage with them, no matter what mama says, it doesn't matter what mom says. As long as you're engaging with them and you're showing respect to their mom, regardless of whether she's being foolish. Okay? You just have to swallow your pride and engage your children, especially when they are young. People divorce people get divorced nowadays, when their kids are 3, 4, below 10. And those kids never understand what's happening. In fact, they think the fault is theirs. You hear kids asking, Mom, why did Dad go? Is it because of me? Because they don't understand. And especially if the mother is the one who doesn't know how to control her mouth. Please, fathers out there, those ones who are co-parenting, please swallow your pride for the sake of your children. Let me tell you nowadays how these boy children are being raised. Let me tell you, you will not leave the job of raising, especially boys, to your wife or to your ex-wife. It's not the same. Moms only give what they have. And I don't think they know how to raise men to be men. Because if there is no example in the house of a man, how will the boy children know how to be a man? If there is no example in their house. Or dad, if you're not regular in their lives, you just assume their mother will handle them. They will not grow up. They will not grow up and become real men. If you're not engaging them and you're not taking the time to show them on how to be a man. You see, when we were growing up, our families were that our mothers didn't, even if they had troubles with our fathers, they didn't leave the home. They just stuck it out, right? And so we got to see the example of how it is to have a mother and a father in a home for a long extended period of time. We got to see how, even if it was not a perfect marriage, but we got to see a mother and a father living together. But nowadays, people hardly ever keep a marriage together. And I'm not saying that fathers, you should keep having relationships that are abusive or that are not conducive for you. What I'm saying is that don't allow don't stay a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks without having seen your child. It's not fair to them. And don't go throwing presents at them. Don't go throwing gifts at them. I'd rather you don't give them gifts, but you take them to the park and just talk to them. Just engage them. Ask them, how's your day been? How are you coping up? Are you guys helping your mom? It's good to help your mom. That is how you're supposed to. Leave the gifts alone. Let me tell you, a child will forget that you bought them a gift when they were 10. But they will never forget that you were absent. or how you treated them, that they will never forget. The gift they'll forget. In fact, you'll be asking them, you don't remember I bought you something? And they'll be like, when? But they'll never forget that, Dad, you were never there for them. That they will never forget. They will always remember your absence more than the gifts you throw at them. And you'll be there justifying yourself. No, I paid school fees for you guys. You know, I did this for you. But all they saw was mom doing everything. I'm telling you. All they saw was mom. Even if you think their mother is cruel like how, as long as she's taking care of them, that's what they will remember, that mom was there for us. Mom might have been cuckoo and crazy, but at least she was there for us. How about you, who you say you are goody? You, dad, who you are telling your kids that you are a good dad, you paid their school fees. They will not remember that. I promise you. And in any way, that's your responsibility. But you just being there, just talking to them. Leave the gifts alone. Yes, you can gift them. But leave the gifts alone. Do you have conversations with your children? Do you engage them? You know, parents think that it's why should I? You know, they know I love. No. Talk to them. You imagine somebody is ignoring you. Somebody who always says they love you, but they don't even come to see you. That thing will hurt you even as an adult. Now imagine a child. Imagine a child. Listen, if you are a father and you have children, I don't care how your ex treated you or is showing you or whatever they are doing to you. Please swallow your pride for the sake of your children. Let them have good memories of you. Let them say, you know, Dad, you remember those days we used to go to the park and just talk? That is what they will remember more than the gifts you buy them. And they will always tell you, Dad, you were absent in all my games. Dad, you were absent in my recitals, in my rehearsals. Dad, you were absent. You didn't come to my ball games. Dad, you didn't come to my presentations. Dad, you didn't come to my class. Dad, they will always remember that. Always. So make the effort, dear Dad. Make the effort. Make the effort. And don't be tired. Don't be tired, even if you... And also, make the effort to make truce with your ex. No matter how ugly things are or were. Don't be stuck on holding grudges. People can really hold grudges. I'm telling you, you did something to somebody 10 years ago and they are still holding on to it. They are like, you. Dad, your children need you. They need you. They need you present in their lives. They want your presence more than your presence. You know? Yes, they want your presence, but they also want your presence. You understand? Both of them together. They do. So that after you have spent quality time with your children, and you have spoken to them, and you have known what they like, what they don't like, what they need, who they are dating, if they are dating, you know, teenagers. After that, then you can give them the presents and tell them. And dear Dad, whoever you are, don't ever make promises you can't keep. These kids, they remember everything. When they tell you, Dad, I have this thing going on, and you say, oh, yeah, I'm going to come. And then you fail to come. Don't disappoint your children. I'd rather you say, oh, dear, I'm sorry, I will not make it. But I will make it up to you. That's what you say. Don't excite them, and then you don't appear in any activity. Maybe they're engaged in stuff in school and they want you to be proud of them. And you tell them, yes, I'll show up, and then you don't show up. That is the worst thing you can do to your child. And you know, when you do that once, they might forgive you. But twice, 3 times, I'm telling you, that child will never trust you again. Dear Dad, that child will not trust you again. They will just label you a liar. Even if you had justified reasons as to why you missed their ball games or you missed whatever it is they were doing and they needed you there. at that time, they will never trust you. So I'd rather you tell them, no, honey, I'll not be there, but I will make it up to you, or I will come for the other one. Rather you say that they know that dad will not be there, other than telling them you will be there and then you don't show up. And then you leave the whole burden to your ex. And then you wonder why your ex doesn't really like you. Okay, be there for your kids. And let me tell you, this job that you're this your job, this your work, this your career, that you're giving your all to. One day you will retire and grow old. And you'll need people to take care of you. The same children you gave birth to. The same children. And let me tell you, the same children are the ones you will be leaning on and telling them, oh, I paid your school fees. Look, paying school fees is an obligation for you. And don't be reminding them that you paid their school fees. They did not ask you to give birth to them. Okay, dear parent, dear father, take care of your children now. Give them good memories now while they're still young. Because a time will come, dear dad, that it might be impossible for you even to see them. Maybe they'll move out of their country and go to another country to work. They'll be so busy in their families, they'll not have time for you. And they'll just say, okay, since dad doesn't love me, okay, I accept and I move on. That's what people do nowadays. They're like, my dad was not there for me, I accept and I move on. But you're struggling to have a relationship with your children while you're old. And sometimes it's too late. So dear dad, make haste while the sun shines. That's what the white man says. Make haste while the sun shines. Give to your children when you can, especially your time. Your time is very important. Your attention, your affection, your care, your love. That's what they need right now when they are growing up, so that they become mature adults, emotionally balanced, so that they will not have daddy issues. You know how many people have daddy issues? Do you know how many people have daddy issues? People are grown, but they are overly damaged emotionally because of the absence of a father, or because of how their father did them. Okay, don't allow your children to be those children who go to therapy and say, my dad was not there for me. It's very sad to hear those kind of stories. Be there for your kids, especially in their young age. When they are young, when they're growing up, be there. Be there. Don't mind what your ex is saying. Yes, if she insults you, insult her. Yes, but please insult her back. But be there for your kids. Okay? Don't allow your children to grow up without seeing you. Let them see you. Please, dear dad. Okay? So I thank you once more for your time and company, for tuning in to this channel, for pausing to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. May the good Lord bless you. May He keep you. May He make His face to shine on you always. Until then, my name is Betty, wishing you a blessed day. Amen.